You would tell me a little bit about the life in the village. What kind of attitudes did your grandparents have? Were they full of hope, or were they always afraid? What kind of feelings did you see
I
there?
would say we grew up in fear. Fear because you never knew when the communists are going to come, or representatives of the communist regime are going to come and, for example, search your house for whatever, for weapons, for example, or for God knows what.
Did it ever happen to you?
Not to me, but to other people in the village. On the other side, if you got caught, for example, listening to Radio Free Europe or Radio Voice of America, that was jail.
Really?
Yes.
How long do you know the sentence? A year or two? Or?
I can't recall. I was too young. But anyway, if you got caught, you were done. So what we used to do, for example, we used to listen to the radio in one room and turn the water on in the other room, so the neighbors will not be able to hear the radio. That was one thing, for example, to avoid. I would say the communists.
Human innovation there.
Yes.
And something that always fascinated me is, what was the police force like? Were you afraid of the police, or if somebody stole something from you, were you able to call them for help?
It's not like here in the United States. People try to stay away from it was not called police, it was called militia or militia, kind of like that.
All
yes.
Right.
They were very aggressive, very oppressive. They did not have any respect towards the human beings. Sometimes, for example, if you were robbed, you called them, they came and they start asking you questions like you were the criminal. So
what did they do to the criminals that robbed?
If a criminal would have been caught, they would have beat him, and before he would have been thrown in jail. So people were afraid of the police or of the militia, because they were seen, I would say, as an oppressive force. Besides the police, we had what was called the secret police, the equivalent of, how should I say it, maybe a combination of FBI and CIA here in United States. This was the police that was spying on people. For example, in every institution, there were 2 or 3 spies. They did not know each other, but everybody knew that he spied by somebody else. So nobody was able to trust each other. So, for example, this is a real story that I heard from somebody who, was able to read a lot of the documents in the archives. For example, if I was spying on you, I would have to give a note every week or every whatever, periodically, about you. What do you do? What do you say? Who do you meet with? Everything. So, for example, I was talking to you when I saw that you drink coffee with salt instead of sugar, right? That's kind of unusual.
Sure.
I would report that. Then the secret police would call you, and they would say, say it. What? Say whatever you have to say. What? Just say it, write it. And you would say, I don't know anything. We know everything that you know, because we know that you drink coffee with salt. So when you hear that, it's a small detail, about your personal life. Who in the world? Exactly. Then you would realize, if they know that I drink coffee with salt, more than likely they know God knows what else. And then you start saying,
that's one of the big
betraying
psychological.
Exactly. So they take that information from you and use it against another person. That's the reason why we had instances, for example, when kids turn on their parents and vice versa, or somebody turn on his or her relatives.